Hi guys, coming at you with another build order for today. Today I'm going to show you how to do a fast Imperial with castle drop, and this strategy is mainly designed to be used on closed maps such as Arena, Hideout, Black Forest even. So let's give this a shot. Playing Arabia here, Arena here, and as with any build order, we want to build 2 houses off the start. I'm playing Portuguese here, I'll show you why in just a moment. We're gonna get our sheep, and then we're gonna shift queue our villagers to save a little bit of time. Okay, once we've got all of our sheep, we are going to start pushing our deer. There's only 3 deer here, so I'm gonna show that it's possible to do it. We have 3 as opposed to 4 that you sometimes get. Okay. Alright, we're gonna add food continually until we have 6 on food, and then we're gonna build a lumber camp. I'm playing Explore here just because it's much easier for me to explain things without having to focus on scouting. But in a real game, obviously, this would be unexplored. Okay, next 4 we're gonna go on wood, or next 3 I should say. Alright, so once again the strategy is going to be a fast imp with the castle drop in between. This is designed to be a very strong build that kills fast but is low eco. And the reason why I chose Portuguese is because of the Feitoria building that lets you pretend you have a good eco while you actually don't have a very good eco at all. Alright, I'm gonna push our last deer. Alright, that was a little poor from me, but you know, mistakes happen. Alright, I'm gonna build a house here near the front just to give an extra layer of protection, and then we're gonna lower a boar. Okay, we're gonna build a mill with the villager, and after it finishes a house. And apparently my board didn't hook on, which happens a lot in DE. No worries though. Alright. And I'm just gonna add extra veil to boar here because I do have a sheep that I want to finish. But the next couple of villagers are going to forage pushes. And you know, you can go scout now, go find relics, do whatever you need to do. We'll build another house here. And once this boar is about, you know, 160, that's when I'm gonna get my second boar. Add 1 more to boar here to make up for that villager. And then we're gonna, once it's 18 out of 25 pop, whatever it may be, we're gonna add 1 villager to stone. Right, so the next 3 villagers are going on stone, or 4 total. Just gonna do a little bit of shift queuing to prevent idle time. Alright, and one more to the lumber camp at 22 out of 25 pop. Don't forget about the house. And at this point, we're going to add a couple of farms. And then we are going to add a second lumber camp at 23 out of 25 pop. Should be 30 now. Yes, 23 out of 30. I'm going to build another house and then task it back. Just waiting on the wood now for the next lumber camp. That's kind of a... Let's do this. Alright, we're gonna go up with 29 pop plus a scout, so 30 out of 4. It should be 30. So this build can be done with 29 villagers, but I prefer to add 1 just for the extra security. So next 3 are gonna go on code. I want it here, here. Let's do this. And then we're going to preemptively add the feudal age after we hit 30 pop. So that's 4 on stone, 4 on gold for now. And click up when you can. And then we have 9 on wood currently. Okay, queue up 2 more villagers preemptively. They're actually gonna go back on code. And then at this point, we want to start building farms. Ideally, you'd want about around 50% of feudal. You'd want at least 150 wood, with around 10 on wood. That way, you're guaranteed to be able to afford your buildings. All right. And these are going on gold, so we're actually just going to use these villagers because they're closest to the wall. And then build them like this. Next to on gold. It's maybe a little bit delayed, but it's okay. And the eco upgrades we want to get are double bit axe. I think I can afford it. Now I'll just force drop off, it's okay. And I'm a little bit delayed because of that blacksmith. All good though. Click up. And usually I would get horse collar, but I'm gonna advise you to skip it. What we do want though is gold mining. So once you can afford that, and we're gonna drop as many farms as we can. Don't need any wood at all. So like I would usually get this, but I'm gonna say no, get gold mining instead. Remember, this is like a semi all-in build. Not really though. You'll see what I mean. Okay, reseed if we need to. Okay, don't have enough wood to reseed, that's okay. I'll just start to chop a straggler. And we're gonna build a castle. Doesn't really matter where, but you know, ideally you'd want to castle drop your enemy, right? Like on top of his walls. But in this case, I won't be able to because I'm going for a fast ship. If it gets denied, we'll be screwed. Okay, new villagers go and build that castle. I mean, getting it up is nice and all, but it's not really that absolutely necessary because you'll be doing the killing in a couple minutes. Okay, this is about 50%. I'll be able to click up when that finishes. Not, we can always buy a little bit of food. And go up that way. May have miscalculated just a little, but that's what the market is for, to make up for inefficiencies or deficits. And at this point, what I want to do is start queuing up organ guns, because now I'm going to be on the offensive soon. So I'm actually gonna task a couple of villagers back on stone. And once we have about 3 or 4, we actually go on the offensive. Okay, that guy wasn't supposed to go in the front. It's a mistake. Alright, we're gonna save up a little now for a treb. Come on, give me 200 wood. There we go. And we're actually gonna save up. Since we can't queue up stuff, it doesn't make sense to queue up stuff after the treb, since the treb needs to be built first. What we're gonna do is actually build our face Feitoria. And now I'm pop capped, just not good. Learn from my mistake. The Feitoria accounts for your pop space before. We actually sell our food here. We don't really need that much food. And we're gonna build our second Feitoria. Alright, so you have a treb out. I should make a second treb after this. save up. And should have around 10, 12 organ guns to play with. It's actually really incredibly strong because outside of like mass knights, there's really not much you can do against organ guns. They have the same range as mangonels. You can probably one-shot them with direct volley. And you also have Vital Vills here. And you have trebs behind, obviously, to if they build like guard towers, for example, to stop you. If they have defensive structures like a castle, town centers, it's pretty much a non-factor with a treb at 22 minutes. And now I'm gonna save up for another Feitoria soon. I'm actually gonna buy another Feitoria just because I can. And let's say they make monks, right? Monks are one of the counters to organ guns, or knights even. Sorry, if they make knights, you can add a monastery. If they make, let's just say they make, what would be a counter? Right, so monks of redemption are another counter. You can build a barracks and then build a stable and pump out light cav of all this food you have. I can also just sell it, you know, but I can also build a uni and get chemistry, potentially get out something like bomber cannons to counter mass archers, for example, or to counter monks. It's really the build from here doesn't really have like a defined like meta per se. Like there's so many things you can do. You can even buy a second castle, and now send it forward, drop a castle, whatever you need to do, man. Whatever you need to do to win. Hope this was useful. I'm sorry, quite distracted. This definitely wasn't my best and cleanest build order, but it should give you an idea of what to expect, how this build order flows out, and what you can do with it, what you can accomplish with it. Two things you need to be worried about is, one is if they decide to go aggressive, like let's say they drop a workshop outside your walls at 15-16 minutes. That is really hard to do, which is why I recommend walling behind with buildings to slow them down as much as possible. That way you can get your castle up in the front and then still go to imp as normal. The other thing you have to be worried about is mass knights, and that kind of works because organ guns are easily flanked and they have a minimum range. So let's say they come with like 20 knights, which is possible, you know, by 20 minutes, 21 minutes when you're trying to go up to imp, that can kill you. So do be wary of that. That way, if they do that, I would just camp behind my castle, make like 15-20 organ guns before I move out, and then with the treb behind, you can actually do a lot of damage. Monks of Redemption is another one, which is why I recommend going stables and pumping out light cav with all the extra food. You can always get your stable upgrades. You should have a lot of gold. You should have a lot of resources, stone even, from your Feitorias. The more Feitorias you build, the better your early eco will be, but the worse your later eco will be. So you have to balance it out. I think 3 to 4 is a good number. You can play around with it. I've seen people go 2, I've seen people go 7. There's really no consensus on what is the proper amount of build. Of course, pros will tell you that you shouldn't build any at all, and I do agree. In a normal game, you probably shouldn't build any Feitorias unless you're like almost dead and you need that eco right away, or you have his gold and stone. In a normal game, chopping town centers will almost always be superior to building Feitorias. Maybe except in this case when you go fast imp. But also try to get a uni up quicker, just so that you can tech into chemistry and siege engineers. Chemistry allows you access to bomber cannons, which are very good, very strong in early imp. And they also, of course, kill enemy buildings. This way frees up your castle to only produce organ guns. You don't have to worry about making trebs. Also, I might suggest adding more on stone, like securing the forward stone and putting some builds on that, just so you get up a second castle, pump out as many organs as you can. The second castle I think should be forward, just so they can put forward pressure on your enemy. And I think I covered it all. Oh yeah, and be prepared about a lot of houses. I didn't show you that. That was my mistake. Once again, learn from me. Don't get housed. Everyone gets housed, so I'm gonna excuse that mistake. And let me know if you have any questions, any comments, any improvements, or really just anything that you know, if you have like an idea, you can try to replicate it. I can try to show you a build order for it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.